All right, hello friends. Looks like I'm live, but I just want to check and make sure real quick. Oh, still not there. Let's see, let me do a little refresh. All right, live. All right, well, hello and welcome friends. Just getting everything all arranged on my desktop. I'm very particular about how I like to be able to view things, and so I always have a few different windows up. It's ridiculous, but it's just who I am. Hi, Lee. How are you, friend? So glad you're jumping in today. All right. Well, I am going to give this a few minutes for people to join us, but we are in a hot foil beautiful frame today. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my hot foil system on so it can start heating up here while we just chat before we get going here in about 5 minutes or so. So welcome to my first live of the week. I'm going live twice this week. Today, I'm going to be featuring Papertrey Ink, which is my normal Wednesday lives. And then Friday, I am going to do something from Spellbinders. So I have a couple of little polls out there asking whether you would prefer me to use January Club products or just January release products. And I think so far January release products are winning. So if you really are adamant about January Clubs, you might want to go vote a couple of times. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Holly. Ooh, that's exciting, Lee. Lee got her foils all organized. Oh, my little camera here is kind of blocking them. Maybe that's my mic as well, but that is how I organize all of my foils. I just use one of those, like, I think that's like not lipstick, nail polish holder. So, but I found kind of perfect for holding foil rolls, and it fits right in my Calyx unit. Cindy is asking me if I got rid of my rash. Well, I never really had like a rash per se. It was more like redness, like red flares going on. And so if I get really warm, like I got really warm at my workout last night, my face got really red, but it didn't have that terrible burning sensation. So I think I'm still working on it is the only way I can say. I haven't had any of the big flare-ups where it feels like my skin is stretched to the max and swollen and all of that. So we'll see. I think it's still up in the air right now, basically. I'm still just full of antihistamines. Okay, so today, Papertrey Ink, we are going to feature some goodies from the December release. Full disclosure, I had 0 time to prep. I've been working on another release, so you're going to do everything with me today. I think I'm great. It's going to be a relatively simple card. Hi, Julie. So glad you're here. I think it's going to be a relatively simple card today. We might go a little past 2 o'clock, but I think it's going to be fun. It's products I've never featured before. 2 of the items are from the December release, and then one is from maybe October. Anyway, it's the frame die. But it's going to be, I think I have an idea for this. You're going to have to help me a lot. We're going to be choosing ink tones and everything, because as I mentioned, I literally prepped nothing. So, couple things before I move on. So I am joining the Greetery this week for their Amore Market release. It's so pretty. The first 3 cards of the release are on my blog today, and there are giveaways attached to that. So if you want to earn your chance or up your chances of winning a $50 gift card code, head over to my blog, leahlawsoncreates.com, just no H on Leah, and comment on those posts. I have the full list in there of all of the other posts as well. And there's 2 $50 giveaways today and 2 $50 giveaways tomorrow. So definitely check that out. Thank you, Julie. I know sensitive skin is a bugger, especially when it kind of feels like it's been combined a little bit with some allergic stuff. So, but I'm hanging in there and I'm doing pretty good. Oh, thanks, Lee. I appreciate that. Oh, you're working on homework for this upcoming C9 retreat. That sounds like super fun. I've never done a C9 retreat before, but I've heard they're super fun. There is lots of hearts in it, Cindy. It's a super beautiful release. I love it. It has like a very vintage nostalgic feel to it. I kind of liken it to, it's like, they're like Valentines that my grandparents would have sent to each other, but like with a little bit more of a modern feel. So it's very pretty. All right, going to turn my attention back to Papertrey Ink. So we are just waiting on the hot foil platform to heat up. But I think we could go ahead and flip the camera around. I still need to trim my foil down. So we can do that together while the platform finishes working up. So let's put the camera in front, and hopefully I did a better job of not making that terrible squeaking sound. And let's switch on over and then just get it straightened up. Oh, it's kind of, here we go. There we go. All right, so these are the items that I am planning to feature today. Hello, Kathy. So glad you're here. Thanks for popping on. Oh, whoa, that was weird. My screen went out for a second. Oh, thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. All right, we're back. Whew, for a minute, I thought I lost you all because my screen went black for a second. That is just, but like my whole screen, so it was like my laptop. But I think we're good. Okay, so let me grab my paper trimmer, and then we'll get some foil trimmed down real quick. Don't fall. Okay, so this is the frame that we are going to foil first today. This is called Deco Framework Hot Foil, and it's got a little bit of an Art Deco feel to it. So it's just really fun, and I think it's going to be a lovely backdrop piece. So let me verify. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, this totally fits within the confine of an A2. Oh, you know what? We have a new roll of Aura, and I got to get it started here. So let's do that. I did not realize we were on a new one. So when there's a new one, I always trim back to where that sticker hit, and I just toss that foil just to be on the safe side to make sure there isn't any gooey residue from the sticker or anything. And so I'm going to go ahead and trim this down to pretty much exact measurements of an A2 panel. I could regret that, not foiling this on a bigger panel, but I'm going to try this first. But if it's real crooked, we may have to do it again onto a bigger piece of panel, but let's just go for it because I have A2 panels cut right now. Hi, Wendy. Thanks, Julie. Thank you. Good reminder. If y'all could give the video a thumbs up right now, I would super appreciate it. It helps the videos reach both now and while it's on replay. All right, let's just leave the trimmer out just in case I need it again. Woo. Just making all sorts of noise out here. And I guess what I need to do here, and isn't that Aura foil just lovely? Oopsies. Let's get this, your favorite foil color. I love to hear that. It's one of my favorites too. I always 100% just like destroy packaging when I'm trying to get these hot foil frames off. So let's see if I can do this. It's just the adhesive is so sticky, and I don't want it to stick onto my hot foil. There we go. Got it. You know what? I'm just going to take the adhesive off because then this will just go in the packaging. I can just slide it right in. I know. Thank you, Cindy. I'm glad I'm not alone. Adhesive frustrates me sometimes. So I'm glad I'm not alone on that. I need to, there we go. Okay, so we've got our hot foil plate on here and the platform is ready. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the timer button. And while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and grab my die cut machine. I will tell you, my die cut machine throws off the coloring in my video for some reason, so you'll just have to bear with me a little bit on that. It never used to, but it does now for some reason. So, but I've just kind of learned to embrace it. Like, it makes it really oddly warm toned. So, you know what? I'm going to actually remove it for now, and I'll just put it in right when I need to run it through the system. So while we're waiting for this to heat up, I'm just going to make sure I didn't miss any comments. Oh, I love that you love to watch foiling happen, Lee. I'm by no means an expert, but I do enjoy it, and I guess I have done it quite a bit. Yeah, I know, Lee. That super strong tape. I mean, I guess you want them to use super strong tape, right? So your stuff stays in place, but I do basically end up just destroying everything. So it's fine. It is what it is. Okay. So here we are. So I'm going to go ahead and sorry about the ugly coloring that this casts on my video, but cannot do this without a die cut machine. And my white one is just a little too stretched out for foiling. So, all right. The way that I foil is I like to remove the platform from that base first. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this as even as I possibly can. I can always probably do a little trimming if need be. I'm also kind of using those guides on the actual system underneath. And then go ahead and put the plates that go with it. I have a little shim in there. I just feel like I lately get better results if I add this little shim. I think it's just like 100-pound cardstock shim. My die cut machine is probably wearing out a little bit, so it happens. I've had this machine for years and years, so I'm not going to complain. And then let's see how our results turned out. Oh my goodness. That is, ooh, I got a little underfoiling down here, but you know what? That's okay. I am not going to worry about that. Maybe I can, I bet you know what I'll do here? I'll put the sentiment over that, so nobody will ever know that it didn't foil perfectly. But that is fantastically stunning. You know what? We're here, and let's go ahead and get this coin off. Maybe if I can get the magnet to let go. There we go. Let's go ahead and solid foil the leftover image so that it is done and I can maybe turn it into another project in the future. So I'm going to throw my solid foil plate on here. This is the one from Pink Fresh. It's probably the one that it's the only one I've ever used. And it is a really good one out there. So I always get pretty decent results with it. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to pull this out for a minute so you can actually see the beautiful foiling that this did. And you'll notice down here, didn't get the greatest of results, but that is okay. Like I said, I will probably throw the sentiment over that a little bit and call it good. So while we're waiting for the solid plate to heat up, Lee was just saying that this is the part that she struggles with a little bit and always likes some tips. And so a couple of things about the solid plate that I have found after, quite a few years of using it is I like to heat it up twice. Now, if you can heat it up with a system, that's even better. But obviously here live, I can't do that today. So I'm just going to remove that and we're going to start the process over one more time. So I'm going to wait for it to say platform ready and then we'll hit that timer button. And I think by that point, it will be hot enough. But I just found for myself and the way that my systems work that just the one heat up cycle just did not work for me. So, hi, Michael. Thank you. Glad you popped in. Glad you're here. So I like to run 2 heat cycles on it. It's a very large chunk of metal. So it's much more than this one here, obviously. So 2, some foils just solid foil better than others. The metallics especially seem to foil pretty well. The ones that are a little more satin textured, I feel like those ones are kind of the harder ones to foil. And sometimes colored foil just doesn't always solid foil. And I don't want to say it never solid foils well. It does sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. So it's kind of, it's not a perfect science by any means. And here's what I'm going to say. If you don't get perfect results, turn it into a shaker card, because once you put sequins or, shaker mix and glitter over top of it, no one's ever going to notice that it didn't foil very well. So keep that in mind. That's why sometimes, well, I kind of just like to turn the solid pieces into shakers anyway, because it kind of lightens them up, and it doesn't make that image so stark and solid. And then one final tip that will also help is Spellbinders makes that specialty glimmer cardstock. It's kind of it has the feel of like a glossy photo paper, and I pretty much always get excellent results on that. So if you're really struggling, try that out and keep it in mind. Now, one reason why I take hot foil plates or press plates, whatever you're foiling, and I put them on my glass mat is because it cools it down so much quicker. So now I can go ahead, pop this into the packaging and put it away. They do have that little mat that comes with the hot foil system, and that's great, but I do feel like it takes my hot foil plates forever to cool off. So I kind of prefer dispersing the heat on a glass mat. So let's go ahead and let's try solid foiling this piece here. Okay. Make sure it's just nice and centered there. Okay. Go ahead and add my shims. You're welcome. I hope these tips are super helpful. And so you'll notice when I did the original running through my die cut machine, I only ran it through the one way. I feel like standard hot foil plates just don't need to run back and forth. But when you're doing the solid foiling, there's no possibility of accidentally like the paper shifting or anything. So you won't run that chance of it like moving on you and haloing. So, but let's look and see. This did a pretty good job. I got a little bit here that stayed behind, and that's why when I do this, it's so weird, the light's bouncing on that. So that's why a lot of times I turn these into shaker cards, because little tiny imperfections and all of that just don't matter in a shaker card. You really can't see them. All right, we are done foiling. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off, and I'm going to unplug it and set it aside to cool. And there we have the two opposite, or the two different pieces there. So when I got a little overfoiling right there. So there is our, so interesting. Did you see how quickly this dispersed heat? Like, I don't even know where all those light sources are coming from. That's so strange. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. I had a squirrel moment because I'm trying to figure out, I'm guessing it's the two little lights I have right over. They kind of point this way. Ooh. Whoa. Anyway, but very cool. And did you see how quickly this dispersed heat? I can already touch it, and I'm going to go ahead and just put it away. Thank you. Okay, so that is part 1 of our card today. Let's go ahead and set this aside. Up next, we need to stamp a couple of these guys. We don't need a die cut yet. We're going to stamp a couple of these really lovely leafy elements. I'm not sure how many, maybe as many as can fit onto an A2 panel. But this is where I might need a little help with ink colors. So I want them to be two-toned, but let's pull some inks in here. I want them to be two-toned. I think I'm leaning towards maybe one being pinks, one being oranges, and one being aquas. Yeah. Hi, Brienne. How are you? So glad you popped in. You know, I think these definitely could be eucalyptus. I don't know that they are exactly eucalyptus. I'm not going to do them in eucalyptus colors. I do know that. But I think that they definitely could be eucalyptus. They're just kind of like leaves that have a little distressing in them. So I really think they can be interpreted in multiple ways. So I think, okay, I think for one, we're going to do Hibiscus Burst and Raspberry Fizz. I think we're going to go a little brighter tone today. And then I think we're going to do Summer Sunrise and Orange Zest for the other color combo. And then finally, how about Hawaiian Shores and Tropical Teal? That seems like a super fun, happy color combo today. So we're going to do 3 of the leaves. They're going to be kind of dual tone leaves, and I think I have another fun idea to do with them as well. Oh, yay. Like that you love a pink and orange. We're doing pink and orange and aqua or teal. As you know, that's kind of a Leah favorite. Oops, sorry. All right. Hopefully I have enough A2 panels. I cut 4, but we shall see if I have enough. I think I can grab a scrap for. Okay, so I want them to be, I know I want this like longer, skinnier one for sure. So let's peel this one off and stick them on here. Kind of like so. And I'm probably going to just do one at a time so that I don't confuse myself, but I am going to stamp them all on the same panel. I think so, Holly. So I think this is their old packaging, and I think this is what they're changing everything over to, but I think it's a little bit of a slower process. So, I think they kind of still have a mix of both. And I do really want to, while I'm not going to use this, I want a place to hold these. There we go. There we go. That makes this easier for me. Okay, so let's go ahead and there we go. Now things fit a little better on my screen. Let's get these prepped and ready. So I haven't prepped these stamps at all. And even though they have the distress marks in them, they still are pretty solid in nature. So let's do a little prep work. I'm just using a standard pink eraser. And I am just cleaning them up. Yeah, I think they're still kind of in the works of restocking a lot of their inks. So definitely be patient. I know it's hard to be patient. Inks are hard in the craft industry, honestly. There's not many manufacturers of inks. And so you're kind of at the mercy of them. So definitely just be patient while you wait. I know it's hard to be patient because you just want to get all the colors. But yeah. So, okay, let's start this guy in the teals. We'll do this guy in the teals. So we've got Hawaiian Shores, and we're going to just do a little bit of an ombre gradient. So mostly I'm going to hit most of the stamp with this one. And then we're going to come in with Tropical Teal at the bottom, which is a bit deeper toned, like so. And then I'm going to come back with Hawaiian Shore and just kind of go over the area where it overlapped. And I got a little fuzzy on here, so let's go ahead and get that off. Okay, and I will probably need to stamp these a couple of times just because I can tell that even after doing that first, or what's the word I'm looking for? Even with the eraser over the top. It's not accepting ink perfectly yet, so I'm going to just stamp it a few times to get a little bit better of a stamp impression. Oops. Pink and chocolate, always a fun combo for Valentine's Day for sure. Okay, there we go. And look at that. It's got kind of a watercolor, somewhat kind of abstract feel to it. I just love it. Okay, I'm pretty comfortable with how that turned out. So let's clean this guy off and do our second set of leaves. Thanks, guys. I'm glad you like the ombre. Okay. So that is this guy. Okay. So then, let's see, what one do I want to do next? I like that one kind of curves that way. I'm thinking I want to do two kind of skinny, and then I think the big one, which I might need to grab another thing of cardstock for, which I think I have one more, so I think we'll be okay. So I think I might do this skinnier guy in the orange. Yeah. And then we'll do the other one, other larger guy, in the pinks. Okay. So let's go like so. And then, you know what? I have room down here. I can stamp the sentiment. So we will be all good in terms of cardstock. Okay. So this guy is going to be the oranges. Ooh, let go. And I might do this one a couple times. I always find that it's almost like you've got to get that initial inking done on them, and then they like start to accept the ink a little bit better. I don't know if you guys feel the same about stamps or if it's just me. I find the problem. But thanks, Ashley. Hi. So glad you popped in. I didn't see you pop in earlier. So I apologize if it felt like I ignored you. All right. So, okay, this is upside down. So we need the lighter to be at the, whoa, I need the lighter to be at the bottom and the darker to be, or excuse me, the lighter at my bottom and then the darker up top. Okay. So this is Summer Sunrise. And now I'm coming in with Orange Zest. And I am really going to have to blend out that line there. There we go. And let's see how this one looks. That is fun. Let's stamp that one more time. I just love these leaves. They're super versatile. And even though I'm doing them in a little bit more cheerful tones, I think they would look absolutely lovely in shades of like eucalyptus, like style shades. Okay, good. I'm glad it wasn't that I just missed you, Ashley. Okay. All right, make sure this is, ooh, hopefully that was in the right place. Oh, good, it was. And look at that. Hi, Tamara. Thank you. Thanks for popping in. Oh, those are so fun. Okay, so that was Summer Sunrise and Orange Zest. And those turned out so fun. And I think the colors will fade a little tiny bit once they finish drying into and kind of soaking into that cardstock. Thanks, Lee. Oh no, Cindy, I'm sorry to hear it's dreary there. We have really not had dreariness. It's been more sunshiny and springy weather than I would have ever imagined in Montana in January. So, I mean, I'm on the continental divide. So it is a little baffling to me that this is our reality right now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead while I still have this panel in here. I'm going to stamp this thank you sentiment in black. Now, there are a lot of really nice secondary sentiments on this stamp set. There is one that says, I couldn't have done it without you. You make a difference, and you truly went above and beyond. But I really want this to just be kind of a general thank you. Like it could be a thank you for somebody giving you a gift. It could be a thank you for someone helping you out. And those secondary sentiments make it feel a little bit too specific. So I'm going to keep it a little bit more of a generic thank you. So let's go ahead and stamp this in just some nice crisp black ink. I'm glad you're getting a summer vibe. I think once we throw the pinks in there, it's going to be even more. And you know, I don't rush through seasons. I love cold weather. But I think that's what I love about crafting is even though I love cold weather and I don't want to rush through winter by any means. I know a lot of people do, but I don't. I love that I can craft any season that I want to at any time. All right, that is perfect. Look at how crisp that stamped and such a great standard font. Love it. Okay. So Lee, I have to laugh at that because I love summer for a little bit, but so I really love 4th of July and I love paddleboarding. So and you can't really paddleboard in the winter. I mean you could, but it would be very cold. So I do love summer, but come like early to mid-August, I'm pretty much over it. Because I just get so hot. And because I do have sensitive skin, I'm very light skinned. And I overheat super easily. So summer's not my favorite thing in the world. I definitely embrace it because and paddleboarding has helped me embrace it more, but I do totally get where you're coming from on that. Okay, and then let's do this big guy here. And this is going to be our last leaf that we stamp together. You know what? I think my little thing fell off on my die cut machine. I don't want to lose that. Get that put back in when the live is over. After Shark Week, I'm done. Oh, that's hilarious. I love it. Okay. Another person who's not a fan of hot. Here's what I will say, though. The area that I live in Montana, we don't get overly hot. I would say most of the time we're in the high 70s to low 80s. We might hit 90 here and there, but not super, super often. So it's not as miserable as other areas of the state and other states. So I can kind of handle it a little bit better. All these summer Texas redhead. Nope, I get it. I'm not technically a redhead, but my skin has a lot of the tendencies of a redhead. So I do understand that completely. I'm the queen of UV shirts and a hat and sunscreen, all of the things. But yes, I agree. All these summer colors are super fun. All right. Get this big guy cleaned off and get it up and stamped and finished here. Although I have another fun little step that I think I want to add to these after they're die cut. Okay, so pinks. Let's start with Hibiscus Burst up at the top area here. Okay, and then we're going to come in with Raspberry Fizz. I absolutely love the name of that ink so much. Ooh, my Raspberry Fizz might need a little re-inking, so we'll see how I might have to stamp this a few times. I think I do have this re-inker, so I think I can give this guy a little spot when all is said. Ooh, get that out of the way. Okay, we're definitely going to have to stamp this another time. Okay. All the pasty white jeans. Yeah, I hear y'all. I've got them too. All right. And then, so what I might do is after stamping this again to get a little bit better coverage up there. I might end up stamping this Raspberry Fizz a couple more times just because it is definitely in need of a spa day. Arizona. I lived in Arizona for a big part of my childhood, and it's just hot. My mom loves it. She lives there now 9 months out of the year. That's ever since she retired. She's a big fan. Let's just kind of smooth that out a little. Okay, let's stamp this one more time. This may just be as deep toned as it gets, but there we go. I think we've got a little bit of an ombre gradient there. And I will give my Raspberry Fizz cube a little bit of a spa day when I end today's live. I did love growing up in Arizona, don't get me wrong. Really great friends that I still have from those days, and I got to spend my summers in Montana, which maybe is why it didn't bother me as much, because I spent most of the hottest months of the year away from it. Look at how pretty those turned out, you guys. Oh, love it. Okay, let's do some die cutting. And then we're going to come back to these leaves and add a little something to them. But I'm first going to clean as I go and put away my stamp. Scottish castle. That sounds fun. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set the inks or put those away because I don't need them anymore. But let's grab the die set here. I did have the best of both worlds, Michael, for sure. Okay, and now I have to figure out which die is which. I'm pretty sure this one is this guy. And then this one, I think, is this guy. Of course, this is the thank you die. All right. Do I have it the right way? Yeah, I must. Okay. I am learning that I have a little harder time lining up sentiment dies. But so I'll do that a little bit better here in a minute, but I just want to get all the dies out that I need. Room for all in the Scottish castle. Absolutely. Although I kind of like where I live, so I think I just want to stay here. Okay, let's grab my really disgustingly needs to be replaced cutting plates. I'll probably do that today as well. Maybe I should make today, after this live, kind of a cleanup day. Probably would be smart. And then let's grab some tape to hold these down. No clue what this dry heat is. That's funny. I know Texans have no idea. Oh, my in-laws live in Texas, and if we're there during the humid months, I basically just don't leave the house. Okay. Okay, so that should be good. I'm going to go ahead and get this cut out, and then we'll run the next panel through. And then I also have a frame I need to cut, so we'll do that here in just a minute as well. Lee and I are the same. Well, a Scottish castle in theory would be great. I'm not leaving my mountains behind. I will never leave my little mountain. Oh, it's not little. The little mountain that we live at the base of. I just love it here. So I feel that. Does anybody else struggle getting things untaped? Oh, I know y'all are going to tell me to get an Anna Griffin Empress, and I do plan on it once this die cut machine dies, but for now, it's not dead, and I don't replace things just to replace things. So eventually I will. But for now, I just have to deal with struggling to get release or get the tape off of my die cut pieces. All right, let's get this lined up. Rent a room, that would be fun. Do a crafting retreat in a Scottish castle one year. That would be super fun. I know, one day I will, friends. But I was given my Gemini 2, so I didn't have to pay for it, and it still works. So, Anna Griffin is not beating down my door to give me a free die cut machine. So I will use what I have while it works for now. Okay, let's get this nice. And I find myself struggling a little bit to line up sentiment dies for Papertrey because they kind of, the way that their dies are manufactured, they kind of overlap the outer edge. So, but I think I'm getting better. It does take me a little, it's taking me a little practice, but I think I'm getting it. That's fairly, I mean, I still have an electronic machine. It's just not the fabulous Anna Griffin Empress that everybody talks about. One day it will happen. But I am not going to fret nor worry. This is how I know I need new plates, because this little piece right here got like probably in one of those little indentations and didn't cut fully. There we go, but it ended up okay. Perfect. Okay, so there's that. Let's get these tape off. I had a cuddle bug for years and years and years, Ashley, like years and years and years. And then finally, it got to a point where it just could not support all of the dies I was using. So I ended up replacing it with I think I got a Gemini Junior. But I used that cuddle bug for so long. I loved that thing. I think it was like the first die cut machine I ever actually owned. Hi, Maria. You know, I have my old Gemini Junior somewhere too, in case this one dies and I need something in the interim while I'm ordering a newer machine. But in the move, I'm not exactly sure where it ended up at. So there's also that. Okay, that is done. We need to cut a frame. I think I want to use some of that aqua glitter cardstock. Been using the pink a lot, but I think I want to grab the aqua one. Let me look in my scraps if I have a big enough piece. Oh yes, Lee, I have a couple of Spellbinders ones. One's because I need them for dry embossing. Two, I need them for like foiling and all of that good stuff. And also, you're right, in case of a power outage, I don't think I have any that are the right size. So I'm gonna have to go grab a full sheet of this glitter cardstock. So give me just a minute to grab that, and I'll be right back. Sorry about that. It was a big, huge 12 by 12 piece, so I had to trim it down as well. I mean, fingers crossed. We don't have that many power outages. If I could craft, I would. Just kind of depends on light. All of that. Okay. Isn't that so pretty? I just love this. This is that Recollections brand from Michaels. So one of my favorites for glitters, this glittery sparkle cardstock. So if you saw my live a couple weeks ago where I did the slimline wedding card, these are the same style. These are the rectangle shapes versus those ones where there was a slimline and then an A7. So a 5x7 sized card on that one. So I like that Papertrey Ink kind of brings out all of their pretty little, their little accents and designs they tend to bring out in all of the different options. I think there's circles right now as well. Hi, Mitchie. Just saw ya. Thanks for popping in. Oh, yeah. We've heard that Texas is going to get a pretty massive storm. That's crazy. I hope you are able to go on your trip. I know that would be a huge bummer if you weren't able to. Look at how pretty that frame is. I just love it. Okay, so that's done. I think we're done die cutting, so I can put these guys away. And we're just going to use the frame, so this can go in my scraps. But I had so much fun. We went on a trip to Alaska in 2017. And it was amazing. So I hope you have an amazing time. We just loved it. Okay, so before we start assembling our card, I want to do a couple of fun things to these leaves. So I need some embossing ink, and let's do some clear sparkle. This is just clear holographic sparkle embossing powder. I think it might be Lawn Fawn, but don't quote me on that. I just had a few smaller jars of it, and I just dumped them into a bigger jar just to save room in my drawer. Okay, so let's see here. I just kind of want to just like kind of haphazardly dip these a little bit in embossing ink and just give them a little sparkle. So I'm not worried about prepping with anti-static powder. It's okay if there's some outliers here and there. But that, I think, is going to be really pretty. Okay, put that away here. Mystery embossing powder, right? I don't think it's mystery. It's just clear iridescent. And I had, like I mentioned, I had a couple smaller tubs of, it's either Wow or Lawn Fawn. I cannot remember. It's been a while. And I think I had acquired them from teaching a couple of different things. So I just combined them. All right, that's going to be so pretty. Not sure if you'll be able to see it very well, but we're going to try. Okay, and then just kind of dip. And this is not perfect science at all. It's just getting some embossing ink on there and getting it covered in this pretty sparkly embossing powder. And yeah, this is a super fun way to add sparkle to these. And once it sets up, that glitter shouldn't get on you. It shouldn't, it's not a perfect science. So it might get on you a little bit, but it shouldn't be too bad. Hi, cat and other cat. So glad you guys popped on. But I'm happy you're here and you can watch some of it too. And then perfect. You can catch the replay afterwards and see what you missed. Okay, let's get these heat set. So I know that this kind of sounds weird. I watched it the other day, back. And it does sound a little weird, so bear with me while I get these heat set, and then I'll be back and chatting with you. Not done, but I wanted to turn it off for a second while I get this. All right, one more, and then we can look at the results. You do need sparkling embossing powder. So when the live is done, I did not have my act together. As I mentioned, I've been kind of busy today. I didn't get to make a full supply list. So I will do that, and I will link to the different sparkle embossing powders I use out there. But look at how cool that turned out. This will never photograph. I'll have to probably share this in a video. Because how amazingly sparkly this will never, ever. And I got a couple of hard lines on there. So what I probably should have done is after doing that or adding the embossing ink, maybe I should have sponged it on with a brush, or maybe come in with a brush after and soften that line. I'm not going to worry about it now because I still think that they look okay, but I did get a couple of pretty hard lines in there. So also maybe I shouldn't have used the edge. Maybe I should have sponged it in the middle. So just a couple of tips to make that maybe a little bit better if you want to try that out in the future. Okay, so we have this. We have all of these elements. We have our foiled frame, which I am going to trim down. And then I do want a colored background for our card base. So I'm also going to kind of curve these in because they kind of went a little concave when I embossed them. Thanks, Kat. Thank you, Michael. I'm glad you guys like it. I love it. You guys, I love glitter. And I feel like now I can just do whatever I want. So if I want to add glitter to every single thing, I can. And I do, basically. So if you don't like glitter, you can always leave it off. That's what I say in lives. Like if glitter's not your thing, just pick something different. Pick a solid color. Don't add the glitter. All of that. So let's grab some Papertrey Ink cardstock. All right, I've got a sampler here. Let's see. And because we're doing that colored frame, we're going to pick from the pinks and the oranges. So I think that's Canyon Clay. Orange Zest is a little much for me. And then I think Summer Sunrise could be pretty. So that's an option. And then let's get to the pinks. They're at the back. Okay, so here we have, this is Raspberry Fizz, which is pretty. And then this one is Hibiscus Burst, which I think I'm leaning towards one of those. So in the comments, let me know if you think we should do Summer Sunrise or Hibiscus Burst for a background. Ooh, that is throwing coloring way off. Let's do that. We'll just put them over here on the side. And I'm going to trim my foiled panel down while I wait for you to respond. So Summer Sunrise or Hibiscus Burst for just the matte on our card base. paper trimmer that has the little wire guide on it. Okay, Summer Sunrise. Okay, we're gonna leave a little bit of a mat around the frame. That's why I love these little metal guides for this. I think I need to order a new blade for it because it feels like it leaves it a little fuzzy, but I can take that off with scissors for now. Okay, keep the votes in. Keep the votes coming. Okay. Okay. Let's see, that looks good. Oh, come on. And what we can also do is I can test them. So I'll go over to my bigger trimmer and cut these down to A2 panels, and then we can figure out what we think also with them in the background as well. But I always love to hear your initial. Lots of people leaning towards Summer Sunrise. Okay. Ooh, hit my fan. All right, so I don't love the fuzziness of this left, so I need to go on and add some new blades for that to my cart today. But I'm just going to do a little trim away of those stupid little fuzzy pieces it left behind. Might have trimmed off the corner there. That's okay. We're tied. It's okay. That's okay. I'll make a judgment call. I'm going to cut A2 panels of both colors, and I will make a judgment call when I kind of start to put the card together. So bear with me for a minute. I'm going to leave you here with these beauties. I'm going to go cut A2 panels real quick from these colors, and I'll be right back. All right, we got both. And then let's create card base real quick. I just need to fold it, score and fold it. So let's do that really quick. A nail sander, a file. Would never even thought of that. I'm just gonna order a new blade because then it will trim better. Okay, there is our card base. Look at all of those fun elements together. Kind of love them. Okay, so we have Summer Sunrise, and then we're gonna come in here with this lovely gold frame. Then we're gonna add this frame like so. And some of this is gonna be popped up with foam adhesive, all of the things. Thank you is going to sit probably kind of here. And then we are just going to tuck the leaves into the frame like so. I kind of want this to be, oh, that's pretty. Just, this is not going to be the exact way, but just an idea. Okay, that might even go there. So there it is on Summer Sunrise. Very pretty. Then let's look on Hibiscus Burst. Weirdly enough, I'm leaning towards Summer Sunrise just because Summer Sunrise really is the smallest little bit of that color being featured in the leaves. And so I think this feels like just a lot of pink because I made that biggest leafy part pink. So I am leaning towards this for better contrast and just more of that color coming out to help this have something to attach itself to. So definitely summer sunrise for me on that. All right, let's start assembling. Like I mentioned, like I said, we're going to go a little past 2 o'clock today. And I knew that because I had nothing prepped and ready to go. So, but hey, getting a card done in just a little over an hour with, not much of a plan and nothing pre-done. I'm going to give myself a little bit of props for that. Okay. And that's why it's good to cut both and see what you think, because sometimes, my inclination would have been to choose pink because I love pink, one of my favorite colors. But I'm glad I did the comparison because the pink was fine. It was lovely, but the orange made it much warmer and really helped tie in that leaf that has the 2 shades of orange on it. So I think that was a good thing to check, I guess I should say. Okay, let's get some foam tape. All right, I am going to do the 1mm foam tape from scrapbook.com that I love so much, because we're going to do a few layers here, and so I want these to still tuck into an envelope. But I do always have to use the butterfly non-machinable stamp on my cards, just because I put a lot of layers on mine, and I'm kind of okay with that. Most of the time when I'm sending cards, I'm sending them in a gift package anyway. Sorry about that. In a gift package anyway, so I don't worry too much about how thick my cards get. However, if you like to send lots of cards in the mail, you can completely get rid of all of the dimension that I add here, and you can glue down everything down with liquid glue or tape runner, whatever your preference is. Hi, Roberta. Thanks for popping on. All right, so there's a good start. Look at that foiling. It's so lovely. Okay, so now let's put some foam strips on the back of the frame here. Okay, I'm going to do a double strand of these guys. So these aren't 1mm. These are the standard 2mm here. Okay, let's see. And that. Then put as much of it on here as we can. Grab another little set here. And get this finished up. All right, so this, stamp set is a thank you stamp set, but I think these leaves are so lovely. You could absolutely use the leaves for any sentiment, really. Okay, let's see. I know I wanted the pink. All right, so kind of have an idea. I am not going to remove the release paper on the bottom because I want to be able to tuck those leaves underneath it. So I might just leave it as is, or after the live, I may painstakingly try to get my fingers under there to release it. But I'm going to go ahead and glue this frame down and leave this so that I can actually still tuck these stems underneath it. Okay, there's that. Oh, I hope so too, Kat. Don't want to be in a snowstorm without your glitter paper. That would be the worst. Okay, So I like that one tucked like so. And I really want the orange to kind of come in here like that. That's cute. I don't want that to be seen. Do you want that over? No. Okay. And then this guy, I want to be actually underneath all of it since there is so much aqua. So maybe this one will kind of go up and in here. Just a little peek of it. Might actually even cut that stem down. That is pretty. Like that. Thanks, guys. Right? It did fit perfectly in the frame. I love it. And this is going to go right here like so. I am going to trim that blue stem off. So let's go ahead and get these guys glued into place here. Okay, start with this guy. And I kind of had it like so. It's okay if it's not exactly perfect. And then this one, like that. There we go. Tucked down in here so you can't see the stem. And then this one, I think I'm going to trim the stem mostly off and go ahead and tuck this guy. Okay, it's a little too glued now. There we go. Just down like so. That is kind of perfect. Just a little bit underneath. Because you definitely have, there's a lot of aqua already. So I like these ones just kind of barely peeking out. Okay. Let's get a little foam tape on the thank you sentiment. And I will let you go. I probably will add some jewels to this, but probably not until after the fact. Just because I didn't pull any out and I'm not completely sure what I want to put on here. So I would like to contemplate that a little bit. So be on the lookout for the photos of this card to see what I decide to do. All right. Kind of like that. And I'll just add a little liquid glue on the U side. Thanks, Michael. Glad you like it. I'm loving the glitterness. The glitterness. It's probably not a word. I made a new word today. Glitterness. Okay. Let's add that here. And if you wanted to add one of those secondary sentiments from this stamp set, you absolutely, I think you could fit it right underneath there. And call it good. All right, that is my card for today, friends. I'll pull it out for those that are a little late. I'll pull out the different things that I used today. And then I'm going to make a complete link list in my, I'll update the video description with a exact link list, not just a general link to the release. So, but just for reference, the foil frame is the Deco framework. The leaves and the sentiment are from the Leave a Little Thanks. I love the name of that stamp and die set. And then this glittery frame is from the In Frames Rectangles die set. These were part of the, December release, so their most recent release at Papertrey Ink. And then I think this was October. But that is my card for you today. All of the glittery, shimmery goodness. I hope you enjoyed watching it come together. I'm sure I'll add a couple jewels here and there once I decide what I want that to look like. Oh, I really got that off, didn't I? Sorry about that. Okay, let's flip the camera back over to me and I'll let you guys go for the day. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. Oh, it's when I flip my camera and my screen goes black and then comes back. That's a new feature. Super fun. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed watching this pretty clean and simple card come together, but lots of fun little details added to it, I think. I think it turned out pretty darn cute. Thanks, guys. Thank you. I'm glad that you liked it. I think the summer sunrise was a good choice too, and I like that I checked them both out because it would have been my MO to go with pink. So I'm glad I chose the summer sunrise. I think it looks better. Thanks, friends. All right, well, I'm going to let you guys go for the day. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and if you're watching on replay, hi. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the video comments because the live chat will be closed once I hit end live stream here in just a moment. And I'm going to be live on Friday using something from Spellbinders. Not sure yet what I'm going to feature, but same time, same place, 1 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time right here on my YouTube channel. I hope you'll join me. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in a couple days. Bye.